This video was brought to you by Clip Studio Paint, aka the art program that I use. Yay! This is a drawing made in 50 seconds. Boop. Oh no! Oh my god, that's so loud. Oh, wait, it's kind of cute. Okay, so, hi, welcome back. I did a thing where I drew myself in every single color of the rainbow. I gave each color different outfits, different shenanigans, different gimmicks, different whatever. It was fun. I told everyone I would redraw their favorite piece, and by 6 votes, purple won. We all know 50 seconds isn't a lot to finish a drawing, so what if I proceeded to give myself more and more time and try to draw the same thing over and over again? Well, frankly, this is how it looks like. If purple's your least favorite color, this is yellow, trust me. 5 minutes. 5 minutes is also enough time for some people to hold the plank. I cannot do that. Stay hydrated while you draw, guys. And go. 5 minutes has a whole extra 250 seconds, and you can get some things done, but it's still not a lot. No, there's already 3 minutes. Oh, spent 2 minutes entirely on sketching. If I'm lucky, I may just need like 1 minute for coloring, and then I'll be done. Oh my god, dude, I blinked and there's a minute left already. Okay, add the face, just add the face. Don't think about it. Oh, okay. Timer's off. Oh. So I guess this is my 5-minute drawing. It's so sad, it doesn't even have this. Okay. I still made it, and I'm gonna treat it with love. Now, not to say that this drawing isn't good, but there's definitely some things that are lacking. For starters, the sketch layer is still visible. There are missing gaps in color when you look closely. My attempts at shading wasn't all there yet, and frankly, I think the drawing looks better without it. So let's see what an extra 25 minutes can do for us. And we're back on this big, beautiful canvas. So 3, 2, 1, go. Gives me a little bit more time to sketch, but I'm still gonna try and be quick about it. I can't spend too long making the sketch organized. I gotta use time efficiently here. Do a little flip, see if everything is good. Move some things. I don't think I'm gonna pay too much attention to the lower body, because I don't think I added anything too special there. Line art, 4 minutes in? Honestly, that is not bad. I wanted to save as much time as possible as I could on the shading, so whenever I was doing the line art here, I had to try really hard not to press undo too many times. 20 minutes. We were like kind of close with the line art finishing, so I think we'll do okay. Suits. There was a period in life where I was just obsessed with drawing suits, because like they're fashionable. Suits are fashionable. They're great. I think they can fit on anyone. Okay, moment of truth. Will you lasso correctly? Yeah. Now, hold on a moment, that just saved a lot of time. How did you do that, Orb? One might ask. This is a selection field tool that I got from the Clip Studio Paint asset store. Thank you, K96, for making this. You finish your line art, you go up here to indicate the layer you want to reference, and then just use the lasso tool on it. It is very simple, and, in our case, very time efficient. At minute 17, we've begun filling in the line art, which I think is pretty solid. Metal Gear solid. Can't make it too bright purple, otherwise it's gonna turn into pink. And this drawing isn't pink. It's supposed to be yellow. Boom. Boom. An extra 30 minutes also ended up giving me time to do some more color corrections. I don't like that it's all dark down here, so I'm gonna make it visually a bit more interesting by making it lighter. And I can have it contrast even more by making the background dark. And now we got ourselves a pretty cool luminescent jacket. They're looking a little bit headless right now, so what I'm gonna do is add a purple arch back here, and with a simple paint bucket, there we go. I wanna have a broken stained glass look. So I'm gonna divide all of these up into little triangular pieces. Now I just gotta do the Microsoft Paint thing that everyone did and fill in all of these little chunks. We can also add a bit of pink and blue hues in there to give it more variety. I'm not really a big fan of all of these empty spaces, so I'm gonna add whatever these tree archways are. We have a nice and comfortable 10 minutes to do the rest of the highlights and shading on the character. But I'm still on a timer, so I can't really be too particular about what I want. And as for the rest of the body, I'm gonna draw with this blue over any chunk that I want shaded. And now with everything done, we can simply just bucket everything. Okay, now that I'm shading it, I think it's coming together along pretty well. Gotta draw little vampire fangs. And now we gotta draw the lean. And then maybe let's break off some of these windows, these window panes as well. Oh god, I'm running out of time. Okay, please. Please. Gotta add some last minute touches, like a border effect. Okay, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ah, okay. Okay, okay. You know what? This one turned out fine. I'm happy with the result of this one for 30 minutes. Hey, if you look at this from far away, it's a little better. Well, pretty solid. I like this one. Let me save it. Already, 30 minutes has solved all the issues I had with the previous drawing. I think the shading shortcut that we used definitely saved a lot of time and also added a lot to the drawing. Not to mention, this time it's actually properly colored and it even has a background. I think if I were to just want to draw something casually that looks cool, I would be very content with this. But we're gonna now push it significantly and see how it looks like when we give ourselves 5 hours to work on one drawing. Okay, since I'm not about to spend 5 hours straight drawing, it is a school night after all, we're going to set this timer to 2 hours and 30 minutes. And then we can do this one today, and then we can do the next 2 hours and 30 minutes tomorrow. So are we good with that? Good, because you don't really have a choice. I'm gonna pull up the original image, which took around 50 minutes, and I'm honestly just gonna jump into it. I'm going to actually use this extra amount of time that we have to my advantage, and I'm gonna plan out a drawing properly. And this is me basically just sketching out ideas, and then making a really quick thumbnail, and seeing how the overall composition of my drawing is gonna be. It's a little bit more professional than the other ones, but with all this extra time I have, I would like to preview how my drawing would look before I spent all of my time on it. I'm sketching out my second draft, and this one is significantly closer to the original image, so I think I may actually end up sticking with this one. Alright, I will now scale this up and change the aspect ratio of my canvas. Hey, future voice overlay me, I'm so sorry that I draw so zoomed out all the time. I need to fix that. 5 minutes in looking at this, I just didn't feel satisfied, so I got rid of it and started on a new sketch. I do want to try and play with other things. I didn't really make the pose all that interesting in the first one, but now that we have all of this time, I feel like it would be quite a waste if I don't try and do something else with it. And I'm realizing that my eyes are having a bit of trouble understanding how these proportions are, so I'm going to take a step back and draw some boxes. To put it very briefly, the human body is 3D, and it just makes a lot more sense to think of each individual body part as a 3D object. You can break down those complex 3D objects into more simpler ones, and in this case, they are boxes. I swear this looks like a bunch of nonsense right now, but we are setting ourselves up for success, I promise you. Okay, fast forwarding until there's another section where I have more interesting things to say, but I am just here refining the sketch, building up the boxes that I drew beforehand for myself, and here and there making little drawings and experimenting with what's gonna be going around the character, because eventually we're gonna also need to include a background. Once I started layering the clothing onto the sketch, the vision that I had for this drawing really started coming back to life. Checking back and forth with the reference, just making sure that the outfit is consistent. And in the end, the sketch looked like this. Our character sitting on top of something. This sketch will be the foundation of everything else that follows. It only took like, what, 31 minutes? And that's only the easy part. If you are an artist that works on bigger pieces, you would know that line art takes an exhaustingly long time. I know we have a handful of time ahead of us, but just in case, we can actually save more time by just cleaning up the sketch where we feel like it's most important. And once you've got the important parts cleaned up, you can just softly erase the sketch underneath. You can technically call this line art, but I like to think of it as a spot in between sketching and also line art. Do this, select all of it, and then go abracadabra! Sweet, that just saved me so much more time. Speeding over this part again, I'm just going over everything with the base colors. I'm not too focused on them, I can always change them later on. With more time on my hands, I'm gonna also use the bucket tool more delicately and clean up all of these messier parts. One of the many advantages of having 5 hours. Despite the amount of workload being exponentially bigger, I was a lot more calm. Honestly, felt super chilled throughout this entire workflow. No wonder that when you don't have time chasing you down, things become a lot more tranquil. I really wasn't a fan of how much the background was blending in with our characters, so I went ahead and also did some adjustments. Really liking this orange one, I think I'm gonna stick with it. Now, before we get into shading and rendering all of this, I'm gonna give our colors a little bit more variety by applying gradients over all of the base colors. We have most of the colors done, but there's no light hitting our character, so it just kind of looks a little awkward. And my favorite way to go about this is by lathering our character in total darkness. I like having the layer mode and multiply for this, because it gives it a very convincing shadow color. And now with a very soft eraser, I'm just going to erase where I want the light to hit. I went ahead and gave a little red tint, and I think with this we are finally ready to start painting. This is basically the part where you refine your drawing and start adding texture and hard shadows and everything that you need for the drawing to look polished. What I find really cool about this step is just that there is no end goal. You can actually just keep on rendering and polishing the drawing as detailed as you want. It's not finished until the artist says it's finished. Rendering. also known as painting over things over and over again. Let's talk a little bit about that. As someone who really likes layers, this hurts me as well to say, but I usually like to stick to 1 or 2 layers when I render things, just to keep it simple. It comes in many different ways, but I just like to paint over what I already have until it's detailed enough for me to like. If something doesn't look visually interesting enough afterwards, then I like going in there and adding sharper highlights. You can see me using the same technique with this cherry and also this half-cut tomato. I actually really like doing a lot of rendering studies with food because if you get the colors done well, then all the more appetizing it looks. Another thing you might notice is me repeatedly adding these parallel lines. Good observation. This is called hatching, and it just adds a little bit of spice onto your stylized drawing. I especially like using this technique for clothing. It's a super fun way of going about shading fabric. But that's essentially all I did for this drawing. I was constantly painting over things. Part of me also really enjoyed not being too particular with how I organized my layers, because find something you want to redo? No problem. Just paint over it. And so the clock ticked down as I entered my last hour of working on this drawing. What did I do for the last hour? Honestly, I was messing around a lot. I had the main piece already finished. I was really happy with it, so I was just messing around, and apart from me adjusting the colors every now and then, I wasn't really doing anything too interesting. I was in call with a lot of friends, and it was really great company while working on this, so hello to all of them, shout out to all of you, you're awesome. With less than a minute left, I added on some final color touches, and... Oh, okay, I'm done. Wow. Whoa! No, I'm not kidding, that was my reaction. I was tired. I think this one turned out really good. Whoa! The result I got from this challenge was a lot better than I expected. I think realistically, if there wasn't a timer put above my head, this would have taken me a lot longer. So, what did I really learn from this challenge? What is the conclusion of all of this? Well, I think when you begin to do something with time being a restriction, your brain automatically prioritizes the things that are most important. I wasn't there focusing on every tiny little minuscule detail because, well, I couldn't do that. But also, take this from someone who draws as a hobby. Art isn't something that you have to be efficient in. I understand to a lot of people it is still meant as a hobby. If there isn't anything else that's interrupting your life right now, then I think it's perfectly fine to spend 12 hours straight on a drawing that you really care about yourself. Regardless, this was a really fun challenge, and now I get to say that I made this drawing. If you're still here, then I'm gonna let you in on a secret. This is actually my second attempt at this challenge. I was 50% finished with my first attempt before realizing that the first half of this video just didn't record. Thank you kindly to Clip Studio Paint for sponsoring this video. If you're looking to upgrade your art program, there is a 3-month free trial if you sign up right now. I've served my time well on this video, so hey you, take care and watch you for thinking.